IMDB says that this is the A-Team plus Expendables. Well, NERDSoul. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, we get into another wonderful episode of movie reviews, and we're going straight to Netflix. This is another joint that Netflix was like, yo, NERDSoul, you gonna like this. People done rated this 5 stars. So what you think? Well, here's what I think about Battle Drone, which is a film that kind of has a military sci-fi kind of bend to it. There is a little bit of, I guess, a Terminator vibe to a certain degree on it, but I guess they have their own little spin, and it ends up being a toss-up. And the toss-up is because I'm feeling some of the action, like the opening sequence. It shows that they're not afraid to have fun. The opening sequence has them going on a mission, and this team of people are, like killing people, but also doing kind of like funny ways of like beating people down and, stabbing people and shooting people and all of this stuff. Even a caterer takes an L in it, and there's really no reason for that caterer to take an L. But I mean, hey, sometimes when you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, things just happen, right? So to get down to the nitty gritty, this team is closer probably to the losers, if you've seen that film, than say Expendables or the A-Team. I would not put them in the vein of A-Team because they're not going to like help people. And the Expendables is just, they're just not at that level. And the losers seems a little more apt of a description because, they are kind of like a cleanup crew for the CIA when they don't want to get their hands dirty. And they all have their own quirks and attitudes. You got the cool one, you got the dumb one, you got the leader, you got the crazy one, all of that. And for the most part, this should work for an action film. But for some reason, it just does not come together. And this is something that's kind of like right up my alley. You have government guys and, shady military stuff going on. And you got like this ragtag team. And it should really come together well. But when you have like discussions of God and country and, how the military force is supposed to be used and how they're supposed to go forward, and then you have a team like this with actors that really just they're not really giving it to me. And trust me, I'm no fan casting director or casting director, if you will, or even a director. Well, actually I have directed, but this isn't the point. The point is they're not really giving me what I need, but then also the movie has a low budget quality to it, which just helps bring it down. But I want to get into what Battle Drone is, because Battle Drone is basically a unit that has been created that is controlled by sort of like, a drone operator or a pilot or a video game, and they want to test it or test its effectiveness up against like the best of the best. And that's what this team is. They're like the best of the best. They go in, they get their kills, they get out, and don't nobody know nothing. So they want to test it up against these guys, and they want to lure them into a situation where they don't know that they're really being tested. But this ain't no regular test, man. This is murder. I mean, this is straight up murder. Like they even say when they're talking to the guy who's kind of like, I guess, testing the services and showing it off to a general, saying like, you can use these instead of troops and blah, blah, blah. They're literally saying like, these guys are loose ends and we need to get rid of them anyway. And I don't know how they think that this is even halfway cool in front of a dude that's like a government employee or whatever. Like the CIA is there, the military is there. You should definitely be keeping this on the low. Now, there are some cool things about this movie that I dig, and I'm gonna get to them after the jump. But one thing I need you guys to know is that, temper your excitement, because this might not be Expendables or the A-Team or a match thereof. But of course, before we get to the break, Curo Brand is gonna help us pay them bills. Oh, yeah, check that link below. Hats, shirts, hoodies, all that from CuroBrand.com. And once you find something you like, of course, cop it. So, how am I feeling about this film that kind of takes a military sci-fi, a little bit of Losers, smashes them together? It's not on the level of Kill Command, which I reviewed a little earlier, I believe last year, that I was really into. I really dug it, and it's on Netflix as well. But this one just kind of sits at the middle of the road. And even though the actors kind of do their thing, they go through their motions, and it's, I guess, predictable if you want. There's one standout, and it's the crew's, I guess, Snake Eyes. And he goes hand to hand a couple of times with these robots. And that's why I think this movie shines. This movie shines. Everything else is kind of predictable, expected, or kind of paint by numbers action film with a ragtag team. But this guy kind of shines with his physicality, man. His stunts, the way he moves, the back and forth with the robot, even the way he takes hits. You feel them. It seems a little more real when he's battling as opposed to when they're just shooting at the robots. And I gotta give him the credit for that, because I was dialed in the whole time when he was fighting the robots. And he fights them, I believe, on 3 different occasions. So that's a great move. But it gets corny at the beginning and at the end when they bring in this kind of like, I guess you could say, country song to kind of like lay under the action that just, for me, it just seemed too out of place for the film. But, you know, I mean, hey, that's give or take. You might love the song. Besides Snake Eyes, I do like the fact that they had to maneuver an interesting way to beat the bad guys. Now, of course, this is another one of those, like, you beat the mothership and you beat them all. Because, of course, since they're drones, they killed a signal and, you know, all the drones just stop. And I don't know how I feel about it. It's another one of those kind of, you know, in a lot of action films, doing where it's like, you know, you beat the mothership and everybody just dies or something like that. And I don't know how I feel about it. But at least the good thing is that at the end, the bad guys get what they're supposed to get. And the good guys kind of walk away off into the sunset. So with that said, on a movie that's kind of okay, but definitely isn't the A-Team, definitely isn't Expendables, and definitely isn't the A-Team plus Expendables, I'm gonna go on and give this movie 2.5 stars. Mostly because of a cool dude like Snake Eyes and a couple of great headshots that shine through when it comes to the robots. So guys, have you seen Battle Drone? Holla at me, I'ma holla at you. Down in them comments, let's talk about this flick. Are you feeling it? Are you not? And would you put this in the bucket of Losers, of A-Team, or Expendables? Or is there another movie that this reminds you of? Anyway, before I bounce, I want to tell you guys to head up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. Check me out right there. All my videos from the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. Then hit up shop.ThatNERDSoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt player. Don't forget to get one for them players. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that Nerd Soul. That's right. There's no better way that I can show people that you like what you are watching. So, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to yourselves. Please be good to each other. And remember, if you are ever on a mission with some CIA operatives, keep your head on the swivel. Peace.